the time to meet with you and to hear your thoughts. And the best from my perspective, I think it's most interesting once I start hearing your questions or your suggestions. So I'll keep my opening remarks, probably just 4 or 5 minutes, so we can kind of get into the meat of the conversation. But if it's okay, I'll just kind of expand on that introduction a little bit and share with you kind of who I am. Most importantly, why I'm running. As you mentioned, I'm a longtime Montgomery County resident. In fact, I'm a lifetime Montgomery County resident. Grew up originally in Rockville, then later in Darnestown. My wife and I are raising our family here. I went to school here. As you mentioned, I started a business in Rockville many years ago. Long and short of it, it's home. This is where I live. And there's no doubt that I was blessed to grow up in Montgomery County. And it's, whether it's the schools, I went to some incredible schools, the investments that we've made in wide open spaces and parks, and then the welcoming and inclusive nature of Montgomery County is really magical. So I was blessed to grow up here, and I have a long perspective. And I think I have a healthy perspective. I've seen our county slip. And so after I sold our business, this is 10 years ago, I really jumped headfirst into nonprofit and civic initiatives to move our county forward. And you described a number of the initiatives that we pursued. A lot of initiatives on education, healthcare, supporting small businesses. But the more I got into the county, the more I became aware of the challenges that we faced. So much so that I ran for county executive 4 years ago, and running against 5 longtime politicians. I came up 77 votes short. Today, I remain concerned, perhaps even more concerned. And when I say that, things like our schools, when I was growing up here, every year you'd open up the U.S. News and World Report and you'd see, 2, 3, 4 of our high schools, the top 100 in the country. This is the first year that I don't recall any of our schools being in the top 100 in the country. In fact, Montgomery County Public Schools are no longer considered the best in the state. Howard County now has better public schools. Jobs, I know we'll talk a lot about businesses, but we should be leading the region in new business growth, and we're lagging. We actually have less businesses here in Montgomery County than we did a decade ago, which to me is unfathomable. And we really need to be harnessing that entrepreneurial spirit, which hopefully we can talk about how we can better do a job of that. And the other thing I would just mention is how expensive Montgomery County has gotten as a place to live. We don't have enough affordable housing. The number of people that actually work in our county can't afford to live here. And so whether it's nurses, teachers, first responders, it's crazy how many people have to commute into Montgomery County every single day. And it's also a huge burden on our senior population. They're moving out. And then even our young population, I meet with many parents who, their kids aren't coming back to Montgomery County, they're moving somewhere else because it's more affordable. So we must address that. I say those challenges, and I'll quickly pivot. I'm incredibly optimistic about our future. Like, we live in an amazing place. The level of talent that we have in this county is phenomenal. The ideas that we have are great. I'd even suggest we have the funding, we have the capital. We're still one of the richest counties in the United States. There's 3,100 counties in the United States. We're the 17th most richest. So we've got the talent, we've got the ideas, we've got the funding. What we're missing is executive leadership. And that's what I spent my career doing, right? As building a company. And I think as a leader, you recognize you can never be the smartest person in the room. In fact, your job is to recruit and retain talented people that know more than you do in their respective areas, right? And then as a leader, you help them set ambitious goals, then you remove obstacles, and then you get out of the way and you let them get things done. And so I think that that's what this county is missing, is executive leadership. And that's what I can bring to the table. And so when we think about the things that I want to tackle, your education, I mean, there's no reason that we don't have early childhood education programs, pre-K, career readiness. Too many of our high school students are graduating. They're neither college ready nor career ready. And I can talk about some ideas that we have there if you'd like in the Q&A portion. Business, we will be leading the region and new business growth if I'm elected county executive. And I put as much effort into anything I've ever done about how we can spur economic development in Montgomery County. Because at the end of the day, that's what pays our bills. That we need that tax base to fund all of the services that we hold near and dear to our heart. And then for affordability, we should be building affordable housing around the new Purple Line stations and around some of the existing Red Line stations. We have where there's public transit, we have an opportunity to build beautiful mixed income, mixed use neighborhoods where people want to start businesses, where young people want to live. And so we'll do that. So let me end with where I started. I was incredibly blessed to grow up in Montgomery County. And no doubt that's because so many people made sacrifices before me. I feel blessed for that. And now I'm paying it forward for the next generations so that they have the same opportunities that I did growing up here in Montgomery County. So Mauricio, with that, I'll stop. And then I would love to hear suggestions or questions or comments from you or the group that's joined us.